Hello and welcome to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We are live at the Chicago Charities hosted by the beautiful Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois on the APTA network presented by eNet Live. I'm Rodney Workman along with Mark Fischel, and it's time for a men's round of 16 match. Mark, who do we got?
Well, I think the first set just finished. Mark Powers and John Hughes. John is the lefty in the reddish-pink shirt, are playing against Pete Rose and Ben McKnight. We are currently asking them if they'll switch courts for us to come on the court we have most of the cameras on. Jerry Vian's out there. It's a really unusual match, Rodney, and we have 4 top players, none of whom are teaching professionals.
That is unique in this sport, that's for sure. They got to be 10% or less of the total players.
Certainly of the top players.
And here they are, trying to get into the quarterfinals.
And it looks like they will be switching courts for us. Shannon Vincent's been up in the chair for the last half hour waiting for them. Didn't want to delay play.
Well, I don't think Ben and Pete mind, because this is their home court. They play on this court one in their league matches on Wednesday nights, so they need a little change up after getting beaten up pretty good in set number 1. What'd you pick up in set 1?
You know, Mark Powers and John Hughes have just improved incrementally each week. I mean, it's just been a quantum leap for them. Mark Powers, it's a big statement, but he's kind of the closest thing I've seen to Johan in terms of the way the ball explodes off his paddle, his foot movement. He's been working on a slash, which he demonstrated very aptly in the first set there. John Hughes is playing some great paddle. He made the semis last week at Atlantic with Marco Grangero, and they are a team to be reckoned with.
Well, and I agree. After doing the Nationals last year, I came away with Mark Powers is the guy on the move in this game, and he's going to sneak in there pretty soon, I think. And he and his partner, John, are a perfect righty-lefty combo, and they both can bring a lot of power. They lob well, volley well, great serves. Future is bright. Ben and Pete have been a team for over a decade. Great guys. They love the game. They're constantly trying to improve and get better, and they need to right the ship quickly here.
Yeah, that first set they were down 4-love in the blink of an eye, ended up losing it 6-2. You know, one of the things we were talking about, Rodney, when we were off air was how little value
yes, but I'm not calling any football. We're not changing that.
Well, it's changed a lot in the last 5 to 8 years. You know, these returns are just too strong, and why come in and try to volley an 80-mile-an-hour bomb off the shoe tops when you just stay back and start the point up from the back? First point.
I didn't.
Controversy on the first point.
I think Mark made a late quiet call of out. I think they're going to replay it, which is a good decision.
I was like, wait, what are you calling?
Okay, so we got Pete Rose serving to John Hughes. First point of the second set.
A beautiful day out here at Glenview. Not a cloud in the sky. The sun will be a problem a little bit later.
67 degrees, Rodney.
Crazy nice for November 5. Hopefully this will be the worst day we have in Chicago all winter. Good get from John off that screen. A little waterfall over there. Look at the ham and egg coverage.
One of the things that was really obvious at Patterson they did exceptionally well was they put so many balls in play. The match they played against Raya and Baron Kranvitter in the quarters was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Really?
And they dug out so many balls that looks like they were in trouble on. They both moved really well. Mark Powers is a tremendous athlete.
He is rock solid. It's that heavy forehand. What a get by Ben.
Great point. How's this for some action on the first point of the set?
Just goes to show how hard it is to put the ball away in this game.
Especially at 67 degrees.
Well said. Yeah, I think it's wise for Pete and Ben to maybe slow it up a little bit, try to get them into a slower paddle game versus that fast paddle that a lot of these young kids like to play. There it is.
Yeah, that's the ball Pete's got to bail on and get out of the way.
He's got to pull the El Matador move and get sideways, don't get hit, and try to get it off the
Up
screen,
15.
because there's no way he's going to make that volley.
Call those hero volleys.
Yeah. they're
Backing
tough.
up on the service line. You're going to make that 1 in 10, 2 in 10, Rodney?
Yeah, out here, tennis, you got a better chance with strings, you know, to make an amazing reflex. But this game, in that situation, I don't see it as high.
You also can't run back and play it off the back screen of the tennis court.
You have no choice.
The pace of play really favors Hughes and Powers right now.
Faster the play, the younger guys will like it. Good communication by Big Ben up at the net. Ben McKnight was a professional soccer player. Played for many years on the American Soccer Tour.
Heck of a golfer, too.
He is one heck of an athlete. He's also moonlights on the barbecue pit. He loves his green egg. Does a lot of barbecuing.
That's a great control forehand from John Hughes. But John and Ben,
15-40.
Pete and Ben just cannot get comfortable right now. Just under siege. 15
A barrage of forehands coming at them.
Boy, that ball comes off Mark Powers' paddle so fast.
Is that the first game? The
First
second
game,
set?
second set. Rodney, what do you think we have to see more of Pete and Ben to really start competing?
Hughes to serve, they lead.
Well, they play the old school paddle game. They're a good vanilla team. You know, it'd be nice if they add a little more chocolate chip cookie dough to that lineup. Like the young team here, they don't win too many points off overheads with a lot of spin and stuff. They're just solid. They'll wear you down. They'll stay out there till the cows come home. Against this team here, they got to take the air out of the ball, slow it up, pick their shots. I mean, it all comes down to driving the right ball. These kids have got great eyes, and they volley so well. What a try. God, that was a great point.
Just shows what it takes to win a point against them.
Exactly. And it does help to be a 20-something or 30-something. I'm not quite sure where they are on age, but
I think Mark's 28, and I think John's a couple years older than that. Mark was a big-time tennis player, #1 in the New England Vision several times, played at Yale. A Jim Kaufman protege. We'll see if he gets the Jim Kaufman overhead today.
what's that?
That soft overhead down the middle that you're seeing right now. That's the way a lot of teams like to play Ben and Pete. That soft overhead up the middle. Don't generate any energy for them. Let them generate their own pace.
And Ben's strength is that two-hander. Well, good shot. Nice sky hook from Pete. That hard serve comes off pretty juicy, but Ben's got the great two-hander. His area to improve is his forehand.
Great serve from John Hughes.
Super kick on it. Runs away from the right-hander.
Great example of playing to the conditions. That serve would not be a good serve in 30-degree weather, but 67, very effective.
That's exactly right.
Great get on the nick by John Hughes.
Really good shot. Look at that Denver mile-high lob. I love the high lobs.
You.
Creates a lot of offensive opportunities. Look at the change of speed in the forehands.
And Mark Powers is playing with a lot of confidence, isn't he? A couple times we've seen him get caught in the middle of the court and just make volleys like magic.
Well, he's only going to get better every year.
That's scary, Rodney.
Look at this.
He
Look
blitzes
at
off
this.
his backhand.
He can drive on both sides equally effectively, and I don't know. I think I would play his partner John a lot more.
Oh,
Without
he
any
got lucky
question.
there.
I mean, I would get to an 80-20 ratio to John. And John's no slouch, that's for sure. He's got a heck of a game. His future is bright, too.
Another missed return from Pete.
Vantage, power, or Hughes.
I know, right?
Point for two, love.
Ben and Pete got to win this game. Can't let him get running here. Good switch. For those fans out there, righty, lefty, got to get the forehands in the middle.
There are those soft overheads we talked about.
Yep. Well, Ben's not going to do anything, and Petey will. Petey will pull that trigger on that backhand. He's got a phenomenal two-hander. Both of Ben and Pete's strength. Look at that.
Oh, what a slash.
Game.
Off the backhand.
And a bounce, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
When Mark Powers
Up.
really playing the game at a high level right now. The sky's the limit for him.
He's a half a notch up from the Nationals when I saw him play last, for sure. Maybe a full notch.
No.
Well, the thing is, they really want to improve. They're open to improving, and they're talking to people. I know Mark was out 2 weeks ago working with legendary Brad Easterbrook on his slash, just doing some drills.
Well, Brad can certainly show him how to do it.
It's just so hard to slow the game down in this weather, Rodney, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Anything that you think you can do in the warm weather to slow it down more?
You know, you're be patient, maybe a little more patient. Just try to wear your opponents down. You go in with a mindset, we're going to do a lot more lobbing and hope they tire out and catch them later in the match. Peter and Ben need to stay out there a long time to work.
Oh, great setup by John Hughes and misses the forehand.
He'd like to have that one back.
15.
Spicy meatball right in his wheelhouse.
There's a good serve from Ben. Chance for hold.
40.
Rare error from Mark. Look at the Aussie. Bang. Hold for McKnight and Rose. They trail 1-2 second set. They lost the first set 6-2.
They needed that.
Certainly did.
Powers to serve. They lead the second set 2-1. They won the first set 6.
Want to thank some of the sponsors, Viking and Save a Tree, Fields Auto, Mike Morrison with Midnight Machete, and the Uline family of Uline Inc. Thanks for all the funding and support you've given this event. It keeps getting better every year.
With some great play all over the grounds, Rodney. See Bavera Wilkinson playing, Durant Parsons.
This is one of the greatest days in paddle of the year. You know, all the great teams are here, and everybody wants to win the Chicago Charities. So for the next 4 or 5 hours, there's going to be some tremendous action. That two-hander, Petey winds his shoulders up. Look, he's runs around his forehand to hit that deuce. Again, starting over. They gave up the net, John and Mark. Now they're just lobbing so they can drive. Just waiting for a ball to pull the trigger. There it is. Back up. Here we go. He get his lobs a little deeper.
And it looks to me like they're really starting to play John Hughes.
Well, that's what I was just talking about. I mean, it's a lesser of two evils.
John and Mark switched in the backcourt. Their normal
switch
size.
back.
Then
There
they
they
go
go.
returning.
Look at Mark trying to bait him.
Yep. And John was a little impatient on that ball, moving awfully hard to his
15.
left to turn and hit a forehand.
I think we see a trend here with Pete and Ben. John's going to see a lot more balls, so he's just got to stay focused. And the downside to that is it lets that player get a little more groove. What did you say?
Fantastic pickup by Mark Powers. A great return of serve.
It sure was.
15 all.
Let's talk about that a little bit, Rodney. How did you feel? I mean, I know you were obviously a tremendous player. How did you feel when your opponents? Did you prefer it when your opponents played you, or did you prefer it when they played your
15,
partner?
30.
Froze you out.
Well, if I was playing with, for example, a great player like Brian Uline, I lobbed everything up the line, whatever side I played. When I started off playing with him, I played the ad. It didn't take long for us to flip it over, but either side, if you don't want to hit the ball, lob it up the line. It's got to go to your partner, and
30
you let the big
all.
dog eat.
But now, when you played with Mike Marino, I'm sure everybody played Marino endlessly. They didn't want to hit the ball to you.
That would be incorrect. I saw many balls, and once again, lob up the line, and get your partner their looks, know your role on the team, and try to play it perfectly.
And there's Pete, really smart against the righty-lefty combination. A lot of balls at that center strap. We have the 2 forehand volleys. That's the weakness of the righty-lefty combo.
Totally.
And once again, they're playing virtually every ball into John. That one barely caught the sideline.
Precariously close. Sneak one over there. Mark's going to try to sneak his nose out there and get a snack. Here it is. And once again, not good for John's confidence. They know what's going on, and he's starting
30-40.
to make a few errors.
Thinking a little bit too much, not swinging.
Good volley, Pete. Leg forward. Go, go, go. Big shot, Mark.
Boy, Mark just keeps coming at you. Little Johan-esque.
He's doing everything but selling the popcorn right
Yes,
now.
he is. He may do
Mark.
that after the set.
At the beginning of this match, Pete and Ben had ad point after ad point, and after the first 3 games, they were down 3-zip, and they could have been up 3-zip.
And that's paddle, isn't it?
That's why they call it paddle, I guess. I mean, it's hard to finish sometimes. Look at that half volley off the shoe tops.
Fun to watch.
Well, the great players are so calm.
I think the winner of this match plays the winner of the Gambino-Trzynski
Advantage
match
power.
against Marco Grangero and Mark Innes.
Wow. I just hired Marek Trzynski 4 months ago. Great kid, great paddle player. Oh, almost.
How many great shots did Pete and Ben hit, and they still almost got that ball in play.
It's not over till the ball's rolling, so you got to keep the pressure on. Serving this I formation with signals.
Oh, Mark wants that one back. Both his opponents in the backcourt had an easy shot.
Break point. It looked like he jumped a little bit at it. Got off the ground. Ben needs a good return here. There it is. Keep the pressure on. Coming.
Yeah, that's what you got to avoid. You don't want to get into that battle with Mark Powers. I mean, Pete's got some of the best hands in the game, but he finished second in that exchange.
It's tough to direct that thing in the middle of a trench warfare point, but you're right. It's got to go over to John. They're 0 forever in that exchange against Mark. I like that little slider up the middle. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Try to get it. Here it comes. Great point. And
Blitz just misses it.
if there's anything to learn out there as you watch Ben and Pete commit to that backhand volley, that's a Hank Irvine staple. Backhand volley, backhand volley, backhand volley. Easy to protect yourself with. Still a break point. Ben and Pete need this one.
Interesting, John's lobbing almost exclusively cross court.
I know, to the point we were talking about earlier, and
Oh, Ben wants that one back.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be lobbing more down the line to try and get Mark involved, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, to what we were talking about earlier.
Boy, two bad misses from Ben and Pete. Those are the ones they can't afford to make if they want to get back in this match.
And exactly that, to that point, this is what happened earlier. They'd have 3 or 4 ads, got none, and then Mark and John would get their first and win it. And that's very disheartening. I like what they're doing here. Taking the air out of the ball a little bit, try to slow it up, wear them down. Just keep lobbing deep. Wear the net team up or down a little bit. Got to get those lobs a little deeper. You're right there. You don't ever have to worry about a drive from Ben most of the time. Here comes to Ben's forehand. Now, backhand's a different story.
Rodney, did you teach Ben that cross-handed forehand?
I did not. I played Ben many times. And you hit a lot of balls to his forehand when you're at the net. Fair amount that Ben and Pete win this point after this lengthy rally. Ben never got to the net.
To his credit, I don't know if he had an opportunity.
There this time. Great volley. What a forehand.
What a lob.
Deadly.
Volley lob.
Beautiful point, Mark. Best point of the match. Super
Great slash.
There's the Albuquerque.
Wow. Boy, Ben and Pete played a tremendous point, Rodney. They just happened to finish second.
That's exactly right. Disheartening for them.
Yeah, they don't appear to have any answers right now.
And once again, they had 3 or 4 ad points in that game.
Can hold.
Now they're down 3-1 instead of being 2-2. So they got to be mentally strong. Short memory, Mark. Block it out, move on.
Close.
That one looked a little tired.
Go Ozzy.
Okay, Australian against Mark Powers. He is playing some big-time paddle right now, Rodney.
Yes, he is. He's got the perfect forehand for this sport. That heavy roll.
Boy, look at that. That ball just explodes off the paddle, and then like in Johan style, he's on top of you when you pop the volley up.
He just keeps squeezing you in, tighter, 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 and then he blitzes and stuffs you. But that forehand has full Western grip.
But the backswing is so short.
That's what I mean. All he does is just turn the doorknob with his hand. He just kind of turns it, comes up and across the ball, puts super topspin on it. Good dig.
Nope, missed that one.
15-30.
15-30.
They've got to find a way to win this game.
They've had 3 or 4 games where they've had multiple ads and lost them all.
Another great slash from Mark. Great dig from Pete.
But you know, Mark, how hard it is to win the big points against the great players.
Yep. That was a brilliant point Pete Rose played there. Just to refresh everybody, this is Pete Rose serving to John Hughes. Once again, you see the strategy where they're playing all the balls into John's corner. John's probably seen 15 balls at this point. Mark hasn't seen one.
Mark trying to get in the game. He's doing a little juke and jagging over there.
But why do you think John's lobbing cross court so much, Rodney?
I don't think he has as much control over his lobs. It's an area I think he should try to work on. And a high, deep lob on the outer third of that court will get Mark some good looks. I mean, that's the thing when you're playing with a hammer. You're the setter. You got to figure a way to get the ball over to him, whether it's slow, medium drives, just take a little off-speed drives, or lobs up the line. Then keeping him honest, trying to keep him from sticking his nose out there.
Powers misses the backhand.
That's what you want. You want to ice him, and then when he does get a look at it, he might press a hair, try to create something. It was a tough ball to drive.
And there's the pressure he puts on you when you're serving to him. But you just can't afford to fault in that situation.
Well, you have another ad point. It's 2 faults this game, Mark. They're going to have to do it the hard way. It's hard enough to win points straight up. Look at that.
Great
Brilliant volley.
Pete.
Brilliant volley. You saw him coming in. That's your answer. Hit it where he's supposed to be. He's never there.
Yeah.
Third fault.
Deuce.
He chuckles.
Deuce. Yep. Come up over the net.
Yeah, just give him a chance to hit it.
Advantage.
Go on.
Add in, throwing in the Aussie formation. Then
You know, we see Ben pointing his finger to the right. What do you think he's signaling?
serve it wide. Okay, you got to get it over to John. Now, look at him. Here we go. That's U-line-esque right there.
Great hold from Pete. Kind of fighting himself there. But they get out of that 15-30 game, find a couple errors.
Hughes to serve. They lead the second set.
And
John
Mark-
Hughes serving 3-2 second set. They won the first set 6-2. So what else do you see out there, Rodney?
Well, I see, you know, on a hot day like today, I see some great exchanges, long points. You know, the screens are lively, so you're going to be driving the balls off the screens a lot more on warm days. But I see tremendous volleys, great backhand volleys. They're holding their ground. These guys don't back up. They don't give an inch. You've got to brace yourself when you know that bomb's coming right in into your lap. And so the volleying is what I'm most impressed with, Mark. How about you? What
Well, a
strikes
couple
you?
scores from the other courts. Max Lipovier and George Wilkinson won the first set 6-2. Scott Kaler and Peter Burke are up 4-3 over Adam Morgan and Dane Schmigdal. And Marco Grangiero and Mark Innes are up 6-3, 3-2 over Chris Gambino and Marek Trzynski, your assistant.
Oh, sad to hear that news.
Well, I assume
Jerry,
Chris
next
is
time
not-
bring us better news, please. Modic, it's actually pronounced Modic as in Andy Roddick.
Modic.
It's spelled Marek, but it's a rolled R as it's Polish. Modic. And every one of our members gets it wrong.
Great move there from John, and Mark misses the flash. Start to see a little change in momentum here, Rodney.
Love dirty.
Well, if they could have held a couple of hold points earlier there with Pete serving, it could be a different story now, but it's a battle. Far from over. And the one thing I will guarantee about Pete and Ben is they will fight to the finish. They're as competitive as you can get.
I also got a result in that Drew Broderick and Jared Palmer into the 16s. Into the quarters. They beat Martin Bostrom and Alex Hume. Great blitz from Ben McKnight.
Sneak attack.
Catches Mark Powers sleeping.
Love.
We call that the stealth bomber move. You throw that high lob up, and catch him sleeping, and tiptoe in there. Nice and quiet. Love 40. Chance to even up the match.
Oh, what a volley.
That's a sick volley. He
15.
slashed that volley.
From behind him.
When they were down 3-love and we were watching at the other court, when Ben came back to the fence, the only thing I said is play the big points better. They still haven't capitalized on that. They've got ad point after ad point, nothing to show for it.
They have to have this game.
Have to. If they don't hold break here, then it's it'll be curtains.
Rodney, why don't you talk a little bit about a righty-lefty and their volleying formation, how it differs?
Well, that's interesting, you know, because you watch Broderick. I remember when he played with Gambino.
Oh.
Wow.
That ball bit.
That's
bit.
Uline,
30,
Johan,
40.
Mark Johnson-esque. That's the new shot. Full swing and drop, kill volley. Nice sneak. 30-40. There it is.
Overly
Back to
aggressive.
3-all.
Eight.
Then Pete to
Three-game
serve. But
ball,
back to
second
the
set.
volley. I love the way that they volleyed Gambino and Broderick. You know, Broderick gets so close to the net with his lefty in the middle, lefty forehand, and Gambino was staggered back, so they never clashed. A lot of players get right next to each other, so there's some clashing of the paddles. And everything varies depending on who you play with and your partner, but you still got to commit to that backhand volley, be ready to handle, weather the storms.
But in general, the righty-lefty are standing much closer together than two righties would be.
For sure. Oh, there it is, a loose volley.
15, love.
Maybe John's getting a hair fatigued. He's seeing 80% of the balls. And I like that strategy for Ben and Pete. Occasionally swing one over to Mark just to keep him from sneaking over too much.
Boy, Mark Powers showing his myriad of skills.
15
He
all.
does have the full arsenal, and he's growing into being one of the top 5 individual best players in the game.
Certainly headed in that direction.
We're not going to anoint him yet, but he's gaining on it.
There's a bad mistake from him there. Those are the ones you have to eliminate.
30, 15.
That's a great volley that's up and in from Ben. It's tough to make that high volley.
Boy, that's a volley you don't see Pete Rose miss. He looked a little jumpy at the net.
Such a heavy forehand.
Yeah, you have to attribute that to the ball jumping off of Mark Powers' paddle.
It's sneaky fast. It gets in on them quicker than they think with all that spin, Mark. It's almost like table tennis where that heavy spin throws off the paddle. It's tough to volley.
Wow, Pete cannot be happy with that error.
Not a 3-all, 30-all, you know. You got to
get that ball in play.
It's a power failure, a little fatigue. 30-40, Ben McKnight to serve. Mark.
Big miss there from Mark Powers. Catches the top of the tape.
Ben and Pete are happy about that, I think. Now they're back to even. They've got to fight hard. Look at this, just nothing.
Ben and Peter switching at the net. Pete's overhead in the middle.
There's
Great
John's
spot.
biggest forehand. It's probably about 85 miles an hour.
But he found a good spot there. Right off that right hip.
Chicken winged him.
Too many of his forehands haven't been located well.
Exactly. I was using Kyle Hendricks, our Chicago Cub pitcher who pitches like Greg Maddux.
Oh, and there's a fault from Ben. And they're back up a break, 4-3.
Hughes and Power up 4-3.
Just too many little errors
Powers to
from
serve.
Pete
Forehand
and Ben. When you're
three,
playing a team
second
this
set.
good, you can't
They
afford
won
to give
the
away
first set,
anything.
6-2.
They made a couple of mistakes, a couple of unforced errors.
And especially at the wrong times. Little things at the wrong time. I mean, again, you got to play the big points better than all the other points. And you got to really dig in. And that's the difference in this match. All the big points have kind of gone to Mark and John. John had a laser beam forehand there that flew out of the court on a deflection and then a fault. 4-3, Mark serving. I mean, Mark, who has the advantage here? The team at the net or the team in the back on a hot day like today at this level?
I think that ball was wide. He didn't call it.
It was close.
They were sitting right in that sideline.
Yeah.
I don't know that there is an advantage, Rodney. I'd call it a standoff.
I'm with you. But I tell you, the teams, the club teams that get to the point where you're just as happy in the back as you are in the front, that's when you've arrived.
That's why I think it's a mistake to be serving and coming in behind your serve. It's just too risky the way everybody returns these days.
Ditto.
Great spot from Pete there.
Chicken winged him.
15 all.
Rodney, talk a little bit more about chicken winging him and why you think that's so important.
Well, I mean, it's a forehand side. You got to play it with a backhand volley. The great smart players will use a backhand volley. The only one that gets away with flipping is Johan. He's the best flipper ever, you know, and he doesn't commit to the backhand volleys much, but it forces the players to kick that elbow out and play that ball off the right hip. But it's much easier to do that than flipping your forehand because you keep the paddle square to the ball. When you chicken wing it, at least your paddle's square. When you flip your forehand on that hip shot, who knows where it's going.
It's very hard to absorb pace when you're flipping the paddle.
It's a fundamental error. Don't copy Johan, who's one of the greatest players of all time. Oh, great move. Got to shorten that up a little bit, or just...
15,
Was he trying to
30.
peg him?
Looked that way to me.
Put a little extra giddy up on it. Great serve. Missed the crease, went dead aim for it. Look at this, good, no panic. See, notice that out there, gang? They didn't panic. They were confused on the lob, both overheads in the middle.
John Hughes hits too many of his forehands at the left hip of the right-handers than the right hip.
There, yeah, you're right. If he can spot that up, it's better.
Now, there was the difference. Mark Powers found Pete Rose's right hip, and he missed the volley.
30, all.
A Cal Hendricks analogy. Spot it up, placement over power. Just keep burying your targets.
Yes.
30 all.
Left hip, middle, right hip, move it. Look at the off-speed shot by Pete. Oh, he dropped his racket head.
But that ball was on his left hip, not a volley you'd think Pete would miss.
Exactly. It's the first time I've seen his technique break down a little bit. Well, look at this. Look at Pete. That was tremendous play right there.
Great blitz.
Deuce.
He absorbed that first volley right in the breadbasket, popped up a lob, and he didn't back up. You would have thought he backed up. He
Caught Mark by surprise.
totally.
Boy, that Mark Powers serve is good. A lot of movement.
Moves off the deck, moves off the screen. It's filthy. Look at that volley by John. John's starting to pick it up a notch. He's getting his game back, getting his confidence. There's where they got to keep it on Ben's forehand. That's where you got to watch. Great volley right on the net.
As you were talking about earlier, Rodney, how close together they're standing.
They're almost Siamese twins out there at times.
Yeah, that's not John's game right there.
He's got to drop down a little lower.
McKnight.
He's a big guy. He's got to drop, lunge step, slash. There's the Ben McKnight
Back on serve, 4 all.
killer backhand.
4 games on.
Rodney, is serve an
second set.
advantage or disadvantage on a day like today?
Depends on who you are. Mark, just got broken, but his serve has been undrivable for the most part. That one kind of went into the red basket. I'd say it's a disadvantage on a hot day. It's just too easy to drive the ball off the screen. So, I mean, if I win the toss today, I'm returning right off the bat.
Would you be serving coming in behind your serve?
Very, very rarely.
Yeah, me too. On a day like today, there's just no point. It's too big a risk.
I would stay back, but occasionally blitz in there. How good is that forehand?
Great pickup from Ben.
Okay, there he goes.
I would say that was a decently played point from Mark Powers, Rodney, would you say?
Well, again,
30.
everything but selling the popcorn right now.
And you know that he's not selling popcorn inside?
I thought I saw him go down the stairs and
Me too.
a little extra butter there.
That was brilliant.
Nice drive from John. Jammy sandwich. He quick-footed around the ball.
140.
But just like we talked about, Rodney, they haven't gotten into 1 point from serve, rather than staying back and slowing the tempo down, which, as you suggested, they were more effective at.
But just think about how they won the last game, right? Lucky break. Nice tight net.
But they won the last game
Staying
from the
back.
backcourt, right?
Exactly.
This game, they served and came in 4 times, never got control of the net, lost all 4 points.
That's why, again, I would serve and stay back today.
Yeah, I agree completely.
You got a better chance in the back. These guys are just as good on both fronts, and it's taking that return of serve at 60 to 100 miles an hour off your shoe tops and trying to make a volley with someone blitzing. That's tough.
My analogy is the shot is so risky. Imagine the most risky shot you could play from the backcourt. You might make it, but what have you gained by making it? Now you've made that volley. Now you're at the net, a place which we've already decided is kind of a 50-50 place.
Yeah.
Serve. They lead the second set.
Exactly.
5 games to 4. They won the first set 6-2.
Okay, so we got John Hughes serving 6-2, 5-4.
Serving for the match.
5-4.
Again, come in, miss first volley.
Love 15.
Ben and Pete win this game. They should start both back. Great lob, John.
But another example of the disadvantage of serving coming in. He was able to dig that one out, but that was a tough shot.
And look how they went to the I formation. Mark went right to the middle straddle of the line. John's directly behind him. And that's why, for the most part, Ben should just go ahead and lob that ball up. Thank you very much on that serve, Mark. It's rare you see a serve shank like that. Smart shot there. All right. Get those lobs deeper, Ben, or you're going to get in trouble.
First point in the last 7 we saw that the server was able to come in and take control of the net.
It's just hard to serve and volley and establish yourself up at the net in this weather.
Go! Hey. You, help. You. Watch it go!
Ball from Mark, a little late.
Stealth bomber move. Great hands. What a pickup from Pete Rose.
He's some athlete.
Uh-oh.
And then hits a terrible overhead.
You got to know where that forehand is at all times.
Got away from where they wanted to play the ball there.
I like John's cut overhead soft up the middle. Bang. See, if Ben could drive that ball, if he had that forehand, that'd be a big plus for him. Some good action on that overhead from Mark.
Boy, really a variety of spins.
He's got all the tools in the toolbox, that's for sure. Every one of them. There you go. Great shot, great dig.
Ding, finds the dingo, finds the nick.
30 all.
You can't hit that nick unless you aim for it.
Yep. Pete misses the return.
Match ball.
40, 30.
That was out. Sorry.
Just can't. Wow, first match ball.
Deuce.
John got a little excited.
Advantage, Hughes.
John chokes it.
So Mark
John
Powers
chokes up a little bit on his serve. He's got a little choke up on that serve. You know, it's funny. Most players hold it down a little bit. Match point, number 2.
Pete and Ben don't seem to have much interest in switching to their normal sides.
Nope,
Surprised at that, Rodney?
little bit. You know, we always try to flip back first chance we get.
Yeah, I never understand why teams do that.
Stay there.
Yeah. Oh, John misses an
Joe's.
easy
In hopes
overhead.
that happens.
Maybe.
It's two errors by John on match balls. I'd like to see Ben get that lob higher. He gets that easy double screen shot. That should go 20 feet higher than the lights.
Wow. A couple of really bad misses.
Loosey-goosey by the young kids.
Yep. Letting them back in the match.
Got to be careful here.
Looks like LePavere and Wilkinson are done. I assume they won.
Ben got the perfect pitch for him to hit. A high backhand, that's his bread and butter. And he does the one thing you're never supposed to do with a drive.
Hit it in the net.
Hank Irvine would be very disappointed. The godfather / grandfather of paddle. He doesn't like it when I call him the grandfather of paddle, but
He gave a great speech last year at Bobo Delaney's Hall of Fame induction.
he is just a great human being. Great. Look at that volley. 2 great drives from Pistol Pete. Trying to Big Ben going for the nick.
You got time. Good.
Great volley.
Go.
See, I'd like to see more of those right there. That shot. I'd like to see more of those from Pete. He hasn't hit that roller, which bites into that back screen.
Great overhead. Another break opportunity.
This is where Ben and Pete have been weak. If they can win this point after 2 or 3 match points, John and Mark, that is a huge feather in their cap. Gives them some good momentum. I like this. Just take the air out of the ball, wear them down, try to bore them a little bit. What was Ben doing there?
Where was Ben going at that point, Rodney?
I don't know.
Literally ran himself out of position.
Something strange happened there, Big Ben. Where were you going?
Yeah, he made that overhead so much easier by going in the middle of the court. Back to deuce. Strange mental error.
To me, this sums up the match right there. Is another point to go win a game. They couldn't capitalize.
Not only couldn't capitalize, but kind of gave it away inexplicably.
Yeah, that was peculiar. All right, now short memory, right, Mark? Most important thing when you do something crazy out there, gang, is that shot. All right, now Ben's got to get a little more mentally tough here.
Advantage, McKnight.
Look for the serve in a certain zone. You're going to drive it. If not, let it go to the screen, lob it up.
Yeah.
Another impatient overhead for Mark Powers.
Again,
Deuce.
another opportunity to break. Didn't happen. This match is much closer than this score indicates.
Really looks to me like Hughes and Powers have kind of tightened up.
Totally.
Made
Advantage,
some bad
McKnight.
mistakes and bad decisions.
And that's why this is the biggest point of the match. If they can get this, now things get interesting. There's Ben's bread and butter. Now got to work John on the screens.
Five.
Got to swing it over there. Yep.
You.
Got to ice Mark, and then eventually he may press, try to do too much.
Go.
Good discipline there. Boom. There it is.
Game.
Game changer.
Ball, second set.
Now.
Can they consolidate?
Mm-hmm.
All that work, and they need to
Now
consolidate.
what I say a game ago, they both should be back right now. Stay where you've been winning.
Wow. Bunch of errors off the John
15,
Hughes pass.
love.
He's got to right the ship.
This is where you need that short-term memory that you talked about.
You've got to have it, and he's starting to wear it a little bit.
Now you want to do this?
Ben and Pete going over 3 or 4 different signals. Great serve. Nice volley from Pete. I like that cutter up the middle, very effective. Got to swing it over.
Go.
Yeah. Great hands, Big Ben.
Watch it. And
loose errors now on either side.
Oh, Ben hits the net in his follow-through.
Great sportsmanship there. Called it immediately. He's a great
15
man.
all.
And it's my favorite definition of sportsmanship is conduct becoming of a sports person involving honest rivalry, courteous relations, and the graceful acceptance of results. That's honest rivalry right there.
Yep.
Ben.
Another miss off of John Hughes' battle.
Here? Yeah. Okay.
Good. Calling the signals. That's a smart overhead. That cut it up the middle low. Stick it behind him. Very smart here. You know, which team has a game plan now, Mark?
Clearly, it's Pete and Ben playing a lot of balls into John's corner.
They've got a more definitive game plan.
Big forehand there from John.
Good transition. Gave the net up. Now slow it up.
Go.
Bore them a little bit. Great lob.
Keep getting in trouble with those hard overheads in the side wires.
Yep. Hit. 5. Hit.
Look at the nice quiet legs. Great drives from Mark, but the amazing thing in the paddle volleys, the legs don't move. No real footwork. Square up, be quiet on the lower half of your body.
Almost catch the ball.
Exactly. Huge point right here, Mark.
And again, Ben and Pete switched in the backcourt from their normal sides, and no intent to switch back.
They won the last point they did this. Maybe they're superstitious. They remember too. The last point, they got it. They did it again.
Well,
40-15.
40-15. 5-all, second set. Ben McKnight serving to John Hughes. Good patience from Big Ben. Little late break on the ball for John. He was late breaking. There's the killer deuce from Big Ben.
but that's also the overhead that he's been hitting that's getting him in trouble, because if you're hitting an overhead that Ben McKnight can hit a forehand on, with all deference to Ben's forehand, it tells you how bad the overhead was. Down, up, overhead. Ben's hitting the ball down from shoulder height. Got to stay away from that. They've had more of their success hitting that soft overhead up the middle, not generating any pace.
Yeah, you got to know where to keep the ball away. And Ben's backhand at shoulder height, you're asking for a punishment. Trust me, I've been on the receiving end of those.
John Lubau and Steve DeRose in the next court against Durrani Barnes and Brad Smith.
Powers to serve, 5, serving
Brad
6,
Smith worked
second
with
set.
me for 13 years. Great kid. Became a great paddle player. He gets a little better every year. He's pound for pound. The guy is so strong.
Okay, so Mark Powers to serve, get into the tiebreak.
And they held with the traditional formation. I like those lobs higher if you can.
But I don't like the overheads that Hughes and Powers are hitting right now. That's the one I want to see more of, that soft ball down the middle.
There it is. I heard you.
Because they've been going too many times to the side wire and generating output.
Stealth bomber move. Snuck in there. Got no action. Reset. Pete's going to get a backhanded drive here in a minute. But I like it. I like the patience.
Great get up the neck.
Take the air out of the ball. Smart. Higher. Good rips. Good rips. Nice wall from John and Mark, had the answer. Using the backhand. See, Mark's got to take that either right at the crease or right at Ben. By not hitting it at Ben, he lets him off the hook. Here's the power failure.
John's missed a bunch of volleys too of late.
Long
Yes.
15.
Footwork intensity's dropping. He's got to pick up his feet. Bounce, bounce, bounce in between shots. Easier said than done from here in the booth.
Everything's easy from here in the booth, Rodney.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Great lob. I like that lob. See, that should produce. It produces a ball to rip.
Oh!
Great rip, John Hughes.
Yep, great ball.
Not.
15 all.
15 all. Shannon Vincent up in the chair.
Once again.
She's got her sunblock on. It's November 5th in Chicago. She could get sunburned. I like the preparation on that overhead. Mark has perfect technique. The early preparation up, it holds it. You can be deceiving with it.
Yeah, Hughes and Powers tend to switch side a lot on their overheads. Supposed to be keeping the ball in one corner.
There it is. Oh, great volley again.
Didn't hit it well enough, Ben. Sorry.
As Pete said, I didn't hit it well enough, Ben. Truer words never spoken, Mark.
I like the blitz by Ben. That's Pete's best shot.
Yeah, good move. Little too high, right at him. Ben got stuffed. Great point. 30-15. Mark serving. What a volley from John. Just keeps his composure. He'll be good.
There's that hard overhead to the side wire that's getting him in trouble. That's the one you want to see more of.
Got to keep that on Ben's side, not Pete's. He'll keep loading up the gun.
Go! Yeah.
Feet work to get a little. There's
Oh, come on, I got
both Ben and Pete go to their two-handed backhand for their bread and butter attack drive.
Watch it.
And that's got to go higher. Not high enough. So they're still defending.
And Mark Powers putting a lot of pressure on him with his overheads.
Watch.
Yeah, eventually too much pressure.
Yeah, just relentless pressure because the trajectory of the lob is too low. You got to launch a few deeper. Then they're going to get some good balls to hit.
And as you talked about earlier, they got to do a better job of finding John Hughes. John's overhead is not as good as Mark's.
Go!
No,
That's the one that he's hit a lot of that's gotten him in trouble, that hard overhead to the side wire.
here he goes again.
Now
And
Pete lost that one
gets
in
it.
the sun.
tiebreaker.
Tie break.
6 games all. Tie break. Second set.
Now, for those out there watching that are not familiar with the paddle tiebreaker, the first point is served into the ad court, but scoring is the same in the sense they got to get to 7 by 2.
Just like the Coleman tiebreaker that a lot of the USTA teams are playing. Big forehand from Mark.
The rotation is different. They'll switch sides after 1, 5, 9, 13, etc., etc. So every team or every person serves on the same side they did during the set.
Which makes so much sense. That's why the tennis tiebreaker just eludes me. Why would you, if you had sanctity aside the whole match, and then in the tiebreaker you have to switch sides in the middle and serve one from one side, one from the other? It makes no sense.
Well, in the old 9-point tiebreaker, you did just that. You served from the same side, right? And then the 12-point, you flipped it. One love, first point goes to Powers and Hughes. This is where these matches can go on forever now. Neither team wants to lose. They get down to crunch time. They're going to get a little more defensive.
There's that bad overhead, though. A little bit unlucky with the let cord there, but you just got to stay away from Pete Rose's side wire. He's very effective there.
And he hit the nick. It came straight out, and Pistol Pete hit an amazing shot there.
Catches the seam there.
Yeah.
But they're generating virtually no offense off of Mark Powers' overhead. Most of it's coming off of John Hughes' overhead.
Mm-hmm.
It's all coming from Pete Rose.
Good overhead there. Really good overhead. Saw it coming right into our lap here, Mark. Again, out there watching, most of the great overheads in this game are not hit that hard. The winning overheads are hit softer for most players. There's that tight forehand. What a volley from Pistol Pete. Great chicken wing volley, locating it to give up the net. You run for your life. There we go. Start it up.
You see much of Pete running for his life there.
He failed kind of slowly. What a play.
There you go, finding that center again. First set to Lou Balderos, 6-1.
2 serving 3.
2 serving 3. Hughes and Powers to serve.
You watch Pete playing against that lefty-righty combination. He's done such a good job of hitting that center strap over and over again with his drives right into that forehand volley position for both of them, and he's found that hole.
Up the middle solves the paddle riddle, especially with the lefty-righty, huh?
Great volley from Mark Powers.
Bend the knees, please. He got down, did the dirty work. That's good volley there. Ben and Pete looking for holes, trying to create some Swiss cheese. The lob's high and look for the spot that they're ultimately going to drive. Great shot, 3-all tiebreaker.
Just not enough lobs directed at John Hughes. Mark's doing all the damage with his overhead as he finds the nick there.
Love the camera angles that Don Kirk has provided us. eNet Live is streaming our great video. Rick out of St. Louis. Uh-oh. That was too easy for him, but maybe a little fatigue, Mark?
4-3.
Smart move by Mark Powers, staying back there after he saw that serve.
Smart drive. Again, no panic from Ben. Really amazing shot there.
Jet.
Unbelievable. He went around the post. What a point here. I wish we had instant replay on this because I'm not sure what happened over there.
Well, our producer Rick Glazebrook about showing that one to us again in the changeover, either after the match or between sets.
That had some reverse southeastern English on it. Wow.
Big point for Ben and Pete.
5-3.
So fascinating, Rodney. So little separates getting blown out, and then all of a sudden they got a chance to be in the third set. Just
Yeah, they
like
do.
That, a shot here, a mistake there.
But this is the story of the match right here. They haven't done well when they've had leads. They're getting a little better at it of late, but this whole match, John and Mark have been down in games. Love 30, love 40, and come back and stolen them. That might have been long. What a volley. Perfect length. It dies on the back screen.
feel like the tempo has really changed to benefit McKnight Rose.
And for me, it comes down to as simple as they have a obvious game plan. The young whippersnappers are
Three,
just
serving 6.
banging away, randomly blasting, you know, but I don't know if they are trying to do anything to Ben or Pete specifically. But we'll see. They're so talented, they might get away with it. Nice second set.
Second set. McKnight Rose, we're going to take a fast break for a commercial. We're going to be back with a replay and a word from our sponsor.
I need it.
This is a call to the committed. To those who wake up with a desire to do more. To those who won't stop until they reach the finish line. Calling all champions. Advocare. We build champions.
Here's that spectacular point we saw in the tiebreaker, 4-3. Here's the shot. Oh!
Around the post, that's what we thought here. We weren't sure.
A little bit of a mishit from Mark Powers that just bounced straight sideways, and Pete did a great job of adjusting to it.
I love the ultra slow-mo.
And how often do you see a ball played that went around the net post?
You know, less than 5%.
Okay, so we're back. Are your trees and shrubs ready for a harsh winter, Rodney?
Not yet.
Okay, well, you better call Save a Tree. They're our sponsor, and they can help you with a complimentary tree assessment of any storm damage that's waiting to happen. Save a Tree's highly skilled crews perform many services to help your trees and shrubs weather the winter, including prudent and anti-desiccants to protect against windburn and dehydration. With expertise in urban and suburban markets, Save a Tree is the perfect choice for tree and shrubs care. Call Save a Tree or visit us at saveatree.com. I know you have, 8-10 acres? They have a lot of trees that you need them.
Just sold it all off. I don't need to worry about it. Living in an apartment.
Okay.
Well, here we go, set number 3. We got a
terrific
barn
action.
burner here, gang. It's a classic match of getting beat early and looking like you're going to lose, down 2-love in the second set. And then next thing you know, you find a way to claw your way back in. We're going the distance. Mark, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing that one team adjusted and the other team didn't. And I want to see what Hughes and Powers do to combat what McKnight Rose have done.
Well, the elders, excuse me, Ben and Pete, they have a game plan. They are definitely working John in that forehand wire. When they have an option, they're letting him hit more balls. Mark Powers has got some amazing firepower. So here we go.
What do you think we need to see from Hughes and Powers to adjust now, Rodney?
I think Mark needs to calm his partner down to support him. Everything's good. To your point, I try to watch that hard roller he's been hitting into the deuce court, which has been hurting him a little bit. That slow up the middle, be maybe a little more patient, but young guns have a hard time slowing it up. There's Ben's bread and butter right there. Good
Great
catch, Shannon
by Shan-
Vincent.
Yep.
Well, once you hit me, it's out. It's mine.
Love 30. Game 1 of the opening set. John Hughes serving. Pete Rose. And it's not the Pete Rose of baseball. Pete Rose of platform tennis. He's in the meat business in Chicago. He and his brother's family own a meat packing, distributing company.
There's that hard overhead again.
Yeah.
Oh, Pete wants that one back. That was bread and butter, wasn't it, Rodney?
15-30.
Right in the wheelhouse. Batting practice fastball. And like you say, he'd like to have that opportunity again.
Okay, yeah.
Again, I formation using signals. Looks like he's going up the middle. Nope, out wide was his signal. Great overhead.
Yeah, Mark Powers' overheads have improved so much in the last year.
That ball had teeth in it going into that side screen, and it was gyrating and sizzling. And it didn't get to the back screen. Look at Mark putting it right in on Ben's forehand. That's trouble there. You got to watch that spot. Look at the soft hands. Little mini tennis right there. Tennis, mini tennis. You don't see too much of that where you dump it at the net player's feet.
You'd also like to see John Hughes close the net when that ball's below the height of the net.
Should have, should have tried to stuff Pete. Easy up here, huh?
I haven't made any mistakes yet today.
Playing well. You're playing well.
Go.
Nice rip.
Go.
30-40. Now we're back to their strategy. This is coming over. Great overhead to neutralize Mark. He's looking to pull the trigger over there any chance he gets.
Go. Go.
Having played with Uline a lot, I know how it feels when he stands over there and every ball's coming to me. Now, there it is. He tries to create some offense. Great overhead here. Look how low Mark gets. He bends those knees super low.
One.
Wow.
Game.
First game, McKnight and Rose. They lead 1-love, third and final set. Trying to get into the evening quarterfinal round matches, Mark.
But it's a great setting here, Rodney. One of the great settings in platform tennis. Glenview Club, people surrounding the courts, a lot of support for the Chicago teams. Just really exciting and fun to watch.
Indeed, the Chicago platform tennis is nothing short of amazing. Alan Graham, Bill O'Connor, and a number of others run our leagues. John Noble, and our league play is second to none. I think 35 series.
It's amazing.
The biggest night of paddle is right here when we have all our league championships with the series 1 and 2 culminating right here. Every other team plays some other club, and then they come here for the big barbecue. You get 500 to 1,000 strong. It's a great way to end up a wonderful season. I got here in '82, probably 300-400 players are playing now. There's, including men and women, you're at 7,000 to 8,000.
Amazing, just amazing. Good return from John Hughes. Needs to find that forehand. Needs to direct it better.
Yeah.
Looks like he's serving out wide.
You. Go.
Pete just waits in that backhand ready position. Same with Ben. Their paddle face is more parallel to the net than 50-50 or perpendicular to the net like tennis.
But to the point we were making earlier, so many of the John Hughes forehands are directed at the left hip, not the right hip. That one's better.
Good volley, pushing it up the middle. You got a little hole there.
Go. Go. Go.
Boy, John mishit his last couple of forehands. Did not look very confident right now.
So he's off balance. He's falling away and trying to go inside out. It's a deadly combination if your feet aren't set. If you're falling away, you should pull it up the alley. Go with the pitch, so to speak, on an outside pitch. You go to right field.
40-15.
A couple of shank forehands missed. And all of a sudden, Hughes and Powers are struggling.
Big time.
About 25 minutes ago, they had 2 match points, and it looked like they were done.
Now they're down 2-love.
3 returns in a row they missed. Now it's a must-hold for them.
Well, you got to right the ship. The youngins got to right the ship.
I like that they're talking here, taking their time.
2-2, third set.
Yes, indeedy. Mark's really got to keep John strong. That's his #1 goal right now. Pump some support and love into him, because John's body language is starting to wilt.
A lot of talking here.
All right, a lot of paddle left. Love 2. Mark Powers to serve. There's that blitz, double trouble, good low return. Blitz, get the volley error. I like the patience. They've taken the air out of the ball here. Mark.
Oh, great blitz by Ben, just misses the volley.
He drops his racket head down. If he just keeps that racket head up, it's an easy put away. There it's up.
Great blitz there. Pete's starting to hit some good returns. Ben's taking advantage.
30.
Great serve.
Like to see Hughes and Powers play Australian here, do something a little different. Pete's starting to hurt him with the return of serve. Mix it up.
Couldn't agree more. Definition of insanity.
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
This game is all about the adjustments.
Mark gets away with that hard overhead, but that's not the place you want the ball on that Ben McKnight backhand.
It was
just
too
got to
good
stay with that Jim Kaufman overhead, that soft overhead, the middle of the court. Big hold from Mark Powers there. They were in trouble down 15-30.
And Mark hit a big-time serve out wide, just inside the sideline. He got old Ben stretched out.
Ben made 3 hours in a row to
McKnight
finish that
serve.
game.
They lead the third set 2-1.
Shannon Vincent's going to go to work Monday with a big sunburn. So people are going to say, what happened? Did you go to the islands in Florida? Where were you? I was in Chicago. You got sunburn in Chicago in November?
Hard to believe, but it is true. Special shout out to the U-Lines, Liz, Dick, Duke, Brian, and Freddie for all the support. Platform tennis. Thank you so much.
Great get from John Hughes there.
Here we are. Give a shout out to David Jeltsin, Viking.
No, of Master Athletics.
Excuse me.
Go.
Formerly a Viking.
Go.
Got to get out of my hole.
Go.
Mike Morrison, Midnight Machete.
Great get up the seam there.
Go. Go.
Lobs are just all too short. Not putting any pressure on Pete Ben right now. Haven't seen him leave the service box this
Out. You. Yours. Out.
The lob sometimes is a throwaway shot by these young guns. You know, they don't take it
They
too...
lobs it because they can't drive. Exactly the wrong thing.
Great lob. Pete sneak in there, quick burst of energy, trying to cover the drive if it happens. I like that card cutter up the middle. Now they're going to work it back to the other side. Overhead. I love, there's the ball. There's the high one.
Get a little more depth on him.
But that's how you start. Start with the height, and you can add it as you go. I remember right before Ulan and Keevens at the Nationals in Rochester, we did a little work at Keevens' lob. When Brian told me they won, he said, Rodney, it's Keevens' lob. You talk about setting the paddle where you put a glass of water on it on the preparation, parallel, and lift it straight up. Very few players do that. They square the face up more and it comes out low and flat.
This is a long grind.
There's going to be a lot more of these moving forward because we're getting down to gut check time and nobody wants to lose here.
Great playing for Mark Powers.
15 all.
5 all?
Yes.
Great plan. That's just a phenomenal point. What are we talking, 40, 50 shots in that rally?
At least.
The longer the point, the more important it is to win it, gang. Bears on the opponents if they keep losing long points.
Go.
And there's no sport in racket sports that has long points like this, although I would say single squash, they get some long ones.
That's John's shot. Comes up a little short.
30-15.
Good point.
Positive encouragement from Mark Powers.
30-15.
Great
Wow.
exchange. Well, you just got to avoid
30
getting into those
all.
exchanges with Mark Powers. Back up.
Let it go through. I would have loved to have seen let that last one go through. And just tough screen off the back, but he can make it. Nice play, John.
You. Go. Go. Good.
One of the first ones Mark hasn't won
40-30.
on the blitz. 40-30. Deep point. Candy Sandwich serving in on the fist.
Great serve from
Okay.
Ben. 3-1 McKnight Rose.
Anytime you can make your opponents return with alligator arms, short arms, you just can't get the leverage.
1, serving 3.
You're not going to get the drive on it. Here we go. Crunch time for great half volley by John Hughes. It's interesting. He doesn't do movies and Pete Rose doesn't do baseball.
Wow.
He's hitting like a top spin overhead there. That was different.
Right here, Mark. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. What a point.
Good. Go, go, go. Go. Go.
But we got to find out if John and Mark can switch to a different game plan and win, right? They have their one way to play, and if that doesn't work, what do they go to?
We haven't seen it so far. Starting to miss some bad shots, too. Overheads, lobs.
Lob 30.
Where Pete and Ben, they seem to take the air out of the ball, slow it up a little bit, more old school paddle, less fast paddle and more traditional. So Mark, when they're lobbing and hitting overheads,
Oh, they fell asleep at the net there.
sure did.
Good.
Who works harder, the backcourt team or the net team?
Well, the net team worked much harder.
Exactly.
Another miss from John Hughes.
Lob 40.
Chance to go up a double break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect play.
Great shot.
15.
Mark Powers, the hands of God up there. Steal a term from my friend Wayne Bryan.
There's Pete, every ball right up the center. Really smart.
And that's the truth.
George.
That's where Ben got really good all of a sudden. That those players who hit that overhead into the side screen. Nice pitch. Wow.
Pete,
Wow.
really, Pete's really picked up his level.
For sure. But we're talking about that hard slice
Rose
cut
serve.
overhead into the
They
backhand
lead the
screen
third
from
set.
right-hander.
4 games to
If
1.
it lands a little too short, Ben has gotten superb at driving that thing. So now you need to be careful. Lubau and DeRose over here with Smith and Barnes.
Doing their Lubau DeRose thing.
They won the first set easily.
6-1.
They've been out there a while in the second.
They're trying to get you a score of that match.
Great
Steve
point over
DeRose
there.
with an array of beautiful overheads opened up the court. Okay, Pete Rose serving 4-1, final set.
Yeah.
Great flick.
Whenever they get away from their game plan, they get more powers involved, they seem to pay for it.
Quickly. But I got to commend the volleying of McKnight and Rose. They're committing to that backhand. They're building a nice wall up there, getting tight at the net. Great volley. There it is. It's that backhand volley that Pistol Pete is owning right now.
And they're really challenging that John Hughes forehand.
Yes, they are. They're basically saying we're not afraid of yours.
Great job from Ben closing the net there.
Look at that volley.
Oh, almost an unbelievable pickup for Mark Powers.
Guy's agile.
15 all.
To even get the bracket face on that ball was Houdini-like.
Yes.
15 all. First volley error in a long time.
And one of the few forehands we've seen John Hughes hit from above his waist, so he's hit the ball in that trajectory where it's headed down.
You know, one of the best tips I like on return of serve is chest height contact. You know, hit it higher. Make contact above your stomach, like you say, and got on top of that ball and drove it down.
Where's the hardest balls to volley? The ones that are going to land in the service box. Oh, a little lucky there, Ben and Pete, with a rare miscommunication on a relatively easy ball.
Well, I like what Ben was up to. He was trying to drop it.
The idea was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two dogs going after the same bone, little confusion.
Forehand,
Great pickup from Big Ben. Going.
Nice, Pete. Great game.
All right.
They have one of the breaks back. It's 4-2, 2-4, final set.
2-4. Set.
Second.
Mark Powers serving.
15
A
love.
little mini rally here.
Yeah, momentum is shifted. This momentum only shifts in a paddle match 8,000 or 9,000 times.
Nothing like it.
Go. Go. Shut it up. Go.
Lob for Mark.
I love Pete's play there. Great lob from Mark, and Pete just lobbed it high. Here we go.
Backhand right up the middle again.
Perfect play by Ben, giving Pete time to get out of dodge. Point. Great catch.
Come on.
What a point. What a point. Again, for those watching out there, did you see how Pete put his nose in there when it looked like that ball was going to nick, and it squirted right out to him? No problem.
Great return. Pete's really hurting with the return, and John and Mark have made no adjustments.
30.
Making contact at chest height and then getting that laser beam trending downward. Like Mark says, get that ball down the service box. Oh, right toward.
A little lucky there.
30 all.
See, I'm really surprised Hughes and Powers aren't doing something different. Pete Rose is really hurting him with his forehand return of serve, and they have not adjusted.
I'm with you. Again, the young team, they don't adjust as much. They think they can win with plan A. If they've switched again, they're out of their corners, but they're going to stay. They're batting high.
There's that hard overhead into the side wire. It's getting good jump. Right there. That's the overhead I want to see more of. Great shot from John. Another reason not to hit a deep overhead, isn't it, Rodney?
Better believe it.
40-30.
Might miss it here. He turned and just hit a great ball down the line. Won the point. Point for 4-3.
Comes. Again. See, now Ben could drive that ball. One more thing to worry about. It's like a pitcher who's only got 2 pitches for strikes instead of 3 or 4. Gotta. Right there, you're going to get lobbed every time.
No, come on.
Wow.
Uncharacteristic error.
They've made a few loose errors. In a match like this, that's all it takes.
Especially when you're trying to battle back. They've dug a little mini hole here. Love that lob. Right through the gut.
How many balls did you hit through the gun today? Take over the net.
We're in the 20s.
Hit it.
15 to 20, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Hard overhead into the side wire from John Hughes. Cost them the point.
Advantage, McKnight.
They just don't seem to have any sense of what's hurting them out there, Rodney. And if you don't have a sense of that, then you can't adjust to change things.
Exactly.
Go.
Break point. Knight and Rose. Go up 5-2. Good communication. Good rip. Tremendous hands at the net.
The adjustment from Mark Powers was looking for that ball there with his forehand.
Gotta get it higher. Gotta get it higher. There we go. Boom.
Oh, that was big. Bread and butter.
Yeah.
Hughes.
That's
Boy,
how.
Rodney, I hope that's not a ball that Ben thinks about tonight.
That's how he puts food on the table with that shot. Just maybe next time take a little off the line. Great drive. Wow. What a Houdini-like teamwork move. Perfect volley. Stuff him in the corner. Back to their game plan. Game plan is working.
Starting to see more and more errors from John Hughes.
Game plan is working.
Another point for 5-2.
This has been the match. We talked about it earlier. Ben and Pete aren't winning these early in the match. And now they are.
There's a big backhand down the middle.
Now they are. There's no better feeling in the world in this game than you
McKnight to serve. They
start
lead
off,
5
get
games
beat
to 2.
badly,
Third
and you
set.
slowly right the ship.
Make an adjustment.
And then if they prevail in this match, Ben and Pete, it's a real cerebralness about this, you know, that you did it not only with your paddle, but with your mind. We don't have to. Okay. 5-2. Then McKnight, Pete Rose of Chicago. Local boys, this is their home club. Getting ready to potentially upset the number 3 seeds. They being the 14 seed, so this would be an upset. And it looked like it was going the other way early, quickly. Ben and Pete righted the ship. Now they're a game away from winning.
You go.
Frustration is set in with the young guys.
Some bad errors, Rodney. Another missed overhead that shouldn't happen.
No, just footwork intensity dropping. A little frustration set in.
There was also an overhead hit the wrong spot.
Now here they're out of corner again in the back.
Hard overhead into the side wire. Ben missed that one, but again, he likes to look.
15 all. It was out. I wasn't sure. It was long.
Called from Ben, confirmed by Shannon Vincent, 15-30.
Not the time for that, Big Ben.
Come on, one at a time.
15-40.
Love the positive energy from Mark Powers.
See if John can put a good return in play. Whoops. Got up in the air too soon. Came up and out of that shot. Remember out there watching. You got to stay down and through. Both feet on the ground. Wait to move forward just like that. You weren't sure how to do it.
Another hard overhead in the side wire. Pete makes him play. 2 points from the match.
We know they did not find Ben's forehand enough in the back. Great volley
there for John Hughes.
Punch it through. Break point.
Advantage, power.
These young guys got some fight in them. Oh, touched them. Again, great sportsmanship.
Well, that's an explosion, that forehand. 5-3.
Courteous.
With 4 breaks in a row.
3 serving 5.
Okay, let's see if they can get a hold.
Great drive. Hasn't done that much.
Nope.
Up 15.
Your turn. Yeah. Okay. Go. Hit.
And look at that, Ben hits the middle of the court again. What a reflex volley from Mark Powers.
15.
Tremendous. Woo. I'll tell you what, Pete can't believe he lost that point.
Me either.
Now it's important that the footwork intensity keeps up. You're getting tired. And you just got to keep bouncing in between shots, keep the motor running.
Go.
Good communication with Peter. Then to take that middle ball to the middle of his forehand. Low percentage shot there.
Ben's made a couple of bad decisions on that side wire that have hurt them.
30-15.
Yep.
It's too low. You got Mark right on top of the net. Not the shot.
Hit it.
Great lob right there. Great overhead, neutralized. Great defense. Pete Rose. Big Ben, get down. Look at that.
Great shot.
It's like a
40, 50.
Jake Arrieta changeup. You swing so hard and you just take the outer coat of fuzz off the ball and hit that full swing and drop shot overhead. I always give Uline credit on that. He was the first one I saw doing that. Now Johan is taking it up another notch. Mark's hitting it. It's just hard to read.
Back. Go. Hit. Five. And short. Shorter. Yep. Me. There you go.
A lot of short lobs.
Go.
That's really driving out of the service box.
Go.
Yeah, I like that.
Go there. Short.
They love that shot.
Go.
Good lob. Nice time.
You. No, it's good. Watch it. Go, it's good. Go. There you go.
Great
Great
drive,
play by
John
John
Hughes.
Hughes.
All right, here we go now.
Tremendous. 5-4, McKnight and Rose third set for a berth into the quarterfinals later tonight. Now, let's watch the teams.
Rose to serve. They lead 5 games to 4.
See if
Third
they
and final
chit chat,
set.
huddle up, talk about it a little bit, because we are at crunch time. Sun's going to start being a factor more and more on the other side. Later into the day.
Yeah.
Pete Rose serving for the match.
And faults to start.
Same thing that Ben did when he was serving for it.
It's out, right there.
Mark 15. It was out.
Yeah.
Mark Powers is really hurting him with his return serve right now.
Well,
Yeah.
could be into the final momentum swing of the match.
Or we could have 6 more after this.
But we are definitely in one of them.
Let's go. Get it.
Love 30, great overhead. Had
Help. Get to you.
John flaring way out looking for a juicy forehand. There it is. That reaction, I don't think he was happy, Mark.
15.
That was a juicy
30.
ball. Too many balls in the net. You gotta find an answer to Mark Powers.
No.
I think that person was going out, Rodney. I wasn't sure. He mishit it a little
Close. He had
bit.
a lot of top on it. That ball was dive bombing.
Rodney, why do you think they won't stay back against Mark? He's hurting so much with return to serve this set.
Ego, pride, I don't know. A lot of these teams keep going right at it, trying to mess with the bulls, ultimately get the horns, right?
Yeah.
Good. Go.
The scene.
Go. Watch it.
Oh, tremendous. Ben McKnight.
Catches Mark out of his corner. Okay, what are you going to do here, Rodney? You're serving to Mark Powers. What's the plan?
30 to 40.
Yeah, I'm both back.
I'm definitely staying back if I'm Pete Rose.
I'm here.
Back anyhow, right? Got there.
Ben's got it.
Look at John got out of the way. Look at, they're back in the point. Right at the ship. They're back in the point.
Yeah, John got out of the way too late, though, for Mark to slash that ball. He's been so effective with that shot.
Tell you, look at this.
He hits him up the middle.
What a point. This point looked like it was going to be one. It still might be. John and Mark 14 times. Good touch. There's that overhead you're talking about.
Such indecision in that forehand, Rodney. He didn't really want to hit it, knew that he should, and dumped it in the net.
He just crowded it. He ran into it. Next thing you know, he's ready to pound it, and his spacing was off.
Lost a lot of confidence in that shot.
Decelled the most of the match. Look at that return. It was definitely dialed back. Great volley. There's that backhand volley of feet. You know where these overheads are going. John's confidence got to be a little bit weak. He's still battling.
He's a great competitor. He's going to grind till the end.
Waterfall overhead. Mark's going to try to sneak over here in a minute, get in the game. Such a frustrating feeling. There we go. There's Pete, little swinger. It's close too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Another one on the outside of the line.
Look at these digs. Look at these digs. This is great entertainment for those out there watching. We hope you're enjoying this. Wow.
Catches the nick, takes us to match point.
Match ball, round of 16 as Chicago Charities, Glenview Club.
One more time, have to deal with the Mark Powers return to serve.
Here it comes, bang. What a volley, what a volley. Well, they got supreme confidence in those backhand volleys. What a shot by John. Ouch.
Wow. John comes through with the big forehand, the big moment, Rodney.
He did. He answered his bell. Nice job, John.
Love seeing that.
Me too. Me too. I want him to play up. Comes right back to the killer forehand there.
Boy, Mark's hurting him up the backhand, up the forehand.
He can put both wings, but that's only the second volley that I've seen Petey's wrist break down. Drop the racket, had a contact.
It was out. Yeah, the sun's, I saw it.
You know, I'm just a little low.
Just can't see it.
I can't see over that ledge.
Couldn't tell. Confirmed by Shannon Vincent.
Deuce.
Back to deuce.
Backhand volleys. Nice spot right there. We got the Red Sea in the backcourt with Mark.
Yeah, wasn't sure why John Hughes all of a sudden went to the left.
That's
stayed
what
home.
they do. Well, they try to protect that corner. They flare out. The lefty-righties tend to Red Sea, as I call it, on those situations, and he had the perfect response.
Match point number 2.
Good. Getting out of the way. Wow, we got back to deuce.
Both teams have now had 2 match points each, Rodney.
You know my definition of a great match is when both teams have match points. That's my definition for the last 30 years. And we are into a great match category now.
Oh, great move from Mark Powers.
Big Ben got the two-hander down low. John's up there with the answer. Bending those young knees. Tough thing for this team. Both these teams now is whoever wins got to play again. A lot of gas out of the tank on this. Great chicken wing volley by John. Great chicken wing location by Ben.
Big time slash from Mark Powers.
Looks like it's going to come at you hard. Next thing you know, it barely moves.
Point for 5 all. This is great stuff, Rodney.
It's as good as it gets. There it is.
There it is. 5 all, Rodney.
5
Powers and Hughes are just tremendous competitors. We saw that at Patterson in that great quarterfinal match they won. They just never give up. They fight and fight and fight. And Mark Powers is as explosive a player as we have in the game that's not from South Africa.
Good.
Okay,
Wow.
get that one.
What a volley. Well, it's dead even. Both teams have had 2 match points, and whichever
Left 15.
team loses is going to hurt.
Once again, Pete Rose really hurting them with the return to serve, and they're not adjusting.
No.
Nice pickup from Ben off the leg court serve. Remember, you play leg courts in this kind of game.
John tried to adjust and slide over to the middle, but
He was moving.
beat him anyway.
He was
Love
moving
30.
too late. Had he gotten there and set up, he'd have made it, but he's on the slide. This hit. Above 30.
There's Mark staying back. I think that's smart.
Look at them. They get to their respective corners, unlike Ben and Pete. Great overhead.
Go.
Anytime you get an overhead and your opponents can't drive it, you've located as well. Here comes one maybe. Yep. Good absorption on that volley by Pistol Pete. Ball's coming 60, 70 miles an hour, and you got to absorb it on a hot day or it's going to volley long.
Help.
Up. Taking dead aim for that crease. Here it comes. Up. Nice deception.
Yeah, you got to wonder if that's a ball he drives earlier in the match, but he's got a lot of confidence.
You know he does. But now it's a different situation.
Good. Go.
Here he comes. Big dog wants to eat. I liked how Ben went right back at him. Always go to the up player. If they get caught up there, go right back at him.
Go.
Even if they are Mark Powers. Uh-oh.
Boy, Ben with a bad decision there. Had control of the point. For some reason decided to feed the bear.
He went after the bear, and the bear ate.
Bear bit him.
Ouch.
That was interesting volleying position from Ben, the way he turned there to take the ball on the side as opposed to taking it straight on.
And then he got hit.
15-30.
Here it comes. He's got to change that location. He's pretty predictable on that kicker shot.
Go.
Like to see him go a little more up the line. There it is. Confusion. Technically, that's the lefty's ball.
Yeah, but you want to see Mark Powers hitting that ball.
Absolutely.
It's been so much better.
I'm with you on that. I said, by the book.
Yep.
Who comes out of the deuce court, lefty takes it, at court righty takes it, but he is just humming on that return. Nice. Look at him, going after the bear.
Go.
Teddy bear. Look at,
Go. I got it.
great transition. Nobody panics.
Good eye.
Great spin on the overhead.
Keep working.
That ball had so much spin
30,
on it,
40.
gang, that when it hit Pete's paddle, it went dead crooked.
Just slid off his paddle.
A lot of revolutions on that ball. Same return by Ben. Off the metal.
Wow, hits the frame up top. Thought it was going over. Hits the frame for a winner.
Yeah.
You think John did that intentionally, Rodney?
I'd have to say not.
I would have to say absolutely not.
You know what? That's when you're starting to think maybe the paddle gods.
Maybe we'll get a replay of that when we switch sides here.
Paddle gods, maybe.
Wow, that might have changed the entire match.
Advantage. Powers.
We've had a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Maybe a lot of this and a lot of that.
I am glad I'm sitting right where I'm sitting. I got a good seat. Big serve, jammy sandwich. Look at that. There's 30 one of those by Pistol Pete.
Go.
John's confidence starting to come back a little bit, Mark. It's amazing how you come in and out of this game so many times.
You just got to hang in there and keep fighting.
Go. Go.
Maybe. I like the art of deception. I got it.
Perfect height.
I like the deception that John shows. He gets that early preparation, and it does freeze that net player a little bit. Makes your shots a little more effective.
Back to deuce.
Good serve. Ben was up there in no man's land, making nervous.
Come on, baby. Keep going, baby. Keep going. We need it.
Mark.
He's not happy.
Advantage, McKnight.
I'm telling you, the sun's starting to drop. He kind of looked up that direction. Yeah, it's
Looks like Lubau DeRose are done. We're going to get confirmation they won. We've got confirmation from Lauren Mandel. 6-4 in the third.
Pete's making sure John's hitting the balls. Wow.
That's all those miscommunications earlier.
That looked a little bit like the Cleveland Indians center field.
And that was a frustration forehand. He was unhappy they miscommunicated on the ball, and then he took a cut at a ball he shouldn't have. Okay, McKnight Rose will serve for the match for the third time.
McKnight,
Rodney, what's the record for most times serving for the match and not closing it out?
I would have to Google that, but I'm sure it's a pretty surprising number.
Well, I think that Ben and Pete will not show it. We can have the replay, Rick? Okay, here's that wonderful point.
Oh boy. That ended with
Let's go get one ready.
a kiss off the top beam. I love E-Net Live. Look at that.
Wow.
The slow motion. They had every shot covered but that one.
Okay, Ben McKnight served for the match, 6-5 in the third, a coveted spot in the quarterfinals of the Chicago Charities at stake.
I'll tell you what I like. I'm smelling that barbecue coming into the hut here. They got the grill going.
I thought you were on a diet, Rodney. You weren't allowed to eat any of that.
No, I'm on a seafood diet.
I know that diet, Rodney. I own it.
I learned it from you. To your question, why don't they just start back? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to double up on the super sizzle. Great lob here. That's Ben's forehand drive right there.
That was sizzling, wasn't it, Rodney?
You know, I learned early on, just say no to that backhand. Give him forehands till the cows come home. A lot of spin on that. Who's got the happiest feet out there now, Mark? That's the team that's going to win this.
Yep. Great transition by John Hughes there. I think we've lost count in the number of backhands Pete Rose hit through the middle.
Hey, it might be a good time for him to try something to the outside. You know, they know that that's where that ball's going.
But they don't seem to be willing to adjust.
Go!
First point.
Out!
12th game.
Out!
We're about 40 shots into this.
Go!
This is what happens in these major tournaments.
Here's where John Hughes has broken down a little bit in the past, where he started to hit that hard overhead. Just got to keep that ball on Ben McKnight's forehand and force them to make a play.
Great pickup.
Coming. Here's the blitz.
Look at the ham and egg coverage. Look at this. Almost back to neutral. They're back to neutral now. No, not yet. The barrage just keeps coming. Now they're neutral. Look at them. They survived. Just a wonderful match. It's a shame one team's got to lose this. Sort of like the Cleveland Indians, unfortunately.
Oh, Ben made a bad decision there and paid for it.
He did. He ran into it. He
It's a relatively easy two-wire ball.
was a no-brainer, double wire.
That's partially attributable to him playing the side he's not so familiar with.
I think it's lack of oxygen to the brain.
Short.
Get
One.
tired. Points are long.
One. Good.
Great dig.
There it is.
What a dig. Looked like he was absolutely beat.
Unbelievable get, and then the chicken wing forehand. Mark located it brilliantly.
They are one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Oh boy. Ouch. Ouch.
That did not feel good.
There's two things you don't want to do on a paddle court. One is fall.
And the other is fall?
The other is don't put your tongue on the screens when it's 10 degrees or colder.
I'll try and remember that, Rodney. Fortuitous bounce off the net for Pete Rose there.
Wow. Did he shave himself?
Doesn't look like it.
His hand, he must have done something to his hand.
Well, Ben stays back and has an easy ball and just sprays it. Smart strategic play.
Looking into the sun, though. I'm telling you.
2 points for the tiebreak. The decisive tiebreak.
It's going to be harder to win points on that side moving forward.
Oh, what a pickup.
Look at that. God, is he fun to watch? He has fun out there, doesn't he?
Yeah. I have fun watching him.
You and everyone else.
Great ball from John Hughes. John is back from the dead. And the third time they serve for the match is as unsuccessful as the first two. And we'll play a tiebreak.
Only fitting.
To start the serve.
Match deserves it, doesn't it, Rodney?
It does. It does. I'd kind of like to see a 1-point tiebreaker.
A 1-point
Focus
tiebreaker.
ball.
Yeah.
But this is going. We're going to be here for a while.
Great volley. Who do you like, Rodney?
Of what?
You know, I'm a Chicagoan, and I love Ben McKnight and Pete Rose, so I cannot stray from them.
They're one love. Hughes Powers.
I know who you're taking, and I'm going to be loyal to the roots here.
Yeah, I don't know who I like in this breaker. I mean, the momentum is clearly on the side of Hughes Powers. They've dodged so many bullets.
And I'm going with my heart, and I also have to live with them. So,
Yeah.
Ben and Pete.
Go.
Little tight serve, Mark.
Yeah, that was a meatball that was fortunate enough to hit the net.
Exactly.
Go.
I own that serve, Rodney.
You know, you
Go.
won a lot with it.
No, I've lost a lot with it, actually.
Hey.
90s champion of Charities a couple years ago.
That's a good lob.
Go.
I want to congratulate Mike Rowley,
Oh,
John Noble, 90s champions.
Love to.
Loose overhead.
yeah, I just can't afford to make mistakes like that.
If there's one time you don't want to miss an overhead, maybe it's in the tiebreaker of the third set.
Yeah,
Oh, great volley.
volley from Pete.
They got to stick to their game plan, get back on the game plan. So good.
He's got it. I couldn't tell if that ball was good or not.
Good. I got it.
Great lob.
Too
There
bad
it comes. Nope.
that didn't have a nice drop shot there. That would have ended the point.
Go. Good.
Nice. This is awesome paddle. Gut checks. Brilliant lob.
Go.
Why do you lob? So you can drive.
I think Grangero and Innes are awaiting the winner of this match. Marco's probably hoping they go to 25-23 in the third set breaker.
Of course he does.
Go.
Look at this. There's that tight. Look at that. Great volley. Just so solid. Pistol Pete. Big Ben at the net. Reception.
Good.
Boy, in their short time as a team, John Hughes and Mark Powers have played a lot of matches like this. They had a third set breaker last year, 16 to nationals. Baxter Heath.
I saw that.
Had 7-5 in the third last week at Patterson. They just played a lot of big matches. Great point.
What a point. Patience, patience, patience. Don't try to be a hero at this stage. Just don't miss.
Don't miss. Great advice, Rodney.
Another
Rose forehand. Oh, he misses the transition.
back-to-back errors by
Mark
the
Powers.
Alpha Dog. 2-2. Race to 7 by 2. Oh, look at that up the middle.
Short.
Oh, look at that shot.
Wow, what a ball from Ben McKnight.
The super sizzler.
The
You
ball
know,
exploded.
When you hit the overhead off the bounce on those really short lobs, it doubles up the spin. I've always said, you know, that's the ball. You want to hit it as it's coming up, your paddle's coming down, and you get double spin.
He caught it on the rise, which helped.
He nipped it like razor thin. Took the outer soda fuzz off the ball.
Go. You. Go.
In Chicago, but back in the lead. We can't see the ball.
Oh, just communication there. They got away with it.
And his son is...
I go. Hey.
telling you, that
3-3.
side is getting tough. 3-3.
Yeah. Mark Powers caught Pete a little bit unaware there.
He flipped it. Dropped that forehand in the net. Here it comes. What a volley. What a volley. Smart. Look at these guys. Ham and egging it nice. They played together so much. Left hand knows what the right hand's doing. A lot of spin on that overhead. Their overhead, their lobs never get above the lights.
You hit.
Ben and Pete.
You hit.
Oh, Pete.
4-3.
The crowd was not happy with that shot, Rodney.
No,
Club
hometown.
that come off in frustration.
4-3.
John serving at 4-3 in a tiebreaker. Yeah, it's probably a little too low to try to be a hero there. What a volley.
Wow, great volley from John Hughes.
5-3.
5-3.
Team Connecticut, 2 points away.
Actually, Massachusetts and New York City.
Do they both, right now, where are they from?
John's up in Springfield, Mass, and Mark's living in Manhattan.
Oh, great shot.
Great ball from
Switching
Ben.
sides.
Mark kinda
Tiebreaker.
jumped at that ball. Didn't let it come off the
Yeah.
wires.
What goes up, gotta come down. He could have waited for that.
So Pete Rose serving 4-5 in the third set breaker.
We've never saw them go both back once, but they volleyed so well. You know,
Yep. Yep.
they're taking the firepower and
Yeah, I mean, both back would have been okay. I would have been happy with one back. Just one back, one up, and play Australia and try and cut the ball off. You can't lose points that way. That's the key, is don't lose points. Oh, there's that big dipper that brings them to match point number 3. Boy, the array of shots that Mark Powers has is really impressive.
well, he just barely nipped that ball, and it was like a change-up. It just was slow motion, and Pete got out in front of it. He's ready to hit. It's not there. Then he lunges.
It was diving, too, just absolutely diving down.
That's the Jake Arrieta curveball. How about the Chicago Cubs? Come on, Cubbies.
Oh, that was in the middle of the net.
It's the worst error he's made all day in terms of how far he missed that return by.
Okay, so this is match point number 4, and Pete Rose has really hurt Mark Powers with his serve. It'll be interesting to see if they adjust. It looks like they are. They're going in the I formation.
I like
This is
it.
a great move.
I like it. At this point in time.
This is it. We have an ace, game, set, and match. Powers Hughes, 6-2, 6-7, 7-6. Spectacular play of battle. Rodney, that was a fun match to watch.
I'll clap for that. Ultimately, on that shot, he lost it in the sun.
that we are not going to do an interview tonight on this match. We're coming back. Our next match at 4:30 will be Durant Parsons and Burka Kaler. So we'll see everybody in about 7 minutes. Hope you enjoyed that. Rodney, pleasure working that match with you.
Awesome fun with you, Mark. Great match. Thank you, my friend.